What's up guys, C Lopez back once again with another tutorialism. This time is part 2 of my collaboration with Gürkan and Aşık. If you missed out on part 1, click the link, catch up to where we are. So this week I'm just looking at developing the loop within a session view. So enough talking, let's just get into it. Alright, so this is where I left off last week. There's one thing I forgot to show you last week, that was that stick part that I programmed in, or kind of programmed in, as you've seen. I just stuck an auto pan on. Giving it a nice bounce between the left and right there. And there's the old vocal. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is reference it with a couple of tracks. Got this track by Finny Basin here. Tom roll there, I'll be using that. That idea anyway. And we've got a track by Maceo Plex here. Again with the kind of tom rolls. Got little percussive flourishes. That kind of 303 type synth. Chords. Yeah, these tracks are really simple. It's just a case of adding little flourishes, I think. So I'm using this Magic AB by Sample Magic to reference. As the name implies, you can AB other tracks against your own. So we're not a million miles off where we are at the moment. Right. So first things first, I'm going to add another chord. Trusty old diva there. Big 80s style chord going on here. Worth noting that those notes coming up on the screen are not necessarily the notes that are being played, because as you can see there I've got the old scale device in Ableton, because I don't know my scales. Probably should by now, but I don't, and we have these devices here to help us, so might as well use them. So I'm going to freeze the track here. I was going to switch it to Divine, and then I noticed in the patch information here, mod wheel controls the filter and the sound, and aftertouch or pressure controls filter FM. So I'm going to use a Max for Live MIDI controller device because I don't have mod wheel. Hit reset to reset the pitch bend, and hear what these things do. Cool, so even though I'm going to freeze the track now, when I go to the arrange view I will unfreeze it and I'll play back with the mod wheel and aftertouch there. Alright, so along the way I added some elements here, this funny lead. feeling, even though I was at the time. This Jupiter style synth. Again, it sounded good when I was playing it in, but listening back, not too sure. But you never know, it might sound good to us later. So I'm going to save the project and delete the two parts. And then I'm going to go save as and save it as that mood 2.2. Now if you watch my top 5 tips for Ableton users, you'll see why I'm doing that, but if not, I'll show you. I've got my Ableton folder in here, and I'm just going to scroll down to the project that I just saved. So that mood 2.1, which is the one that I just previously saved. You can see I've got a funny lead and Jupiter in there. So if I decide I want to use them at a later date, they're there, rather than just straight up deleting them. You never know. I doubt it though. Right, so on to some of these rhythmical incidentals that Maceo Plex was using. So Diva again. Honestly, I've got no affiliation with Yuhi, I just love this thing. Got this rhythmic feel. It's one of the presets in the percussive folder there. And the mod wheel equals rewind, which sounds interesting. Now I'm getting these cutouts, which is just due to the buffer size on my sound card. I've got it set low just so I can play stuff in accurately, but that low buffer size is not agreeing with my screen capture software. I do sort it out later on and increase the buffer size, but for now you're just going to have to put up with it. Right, so you can see the second note that I played there is going slightly over the bar when I switch it to a 4-bar loop. So I'm just going to adjust the brace position, and you can see the start marker now is going to start on bar 5. So even though the notes are going to be played in the exact same place, I'm going to be getting the full extent of that second note that I played there. So nice little handy workaround there. Pressing that apparently resets your audio card, which I picked up on a point blank tutorial the other day. I'm not sure that really works well. I've got the screen capture software sharing my sound card as well, but there we go. Anyway, back with the MIDI control and see what the mod wheel does, and that's rewind. Interesting, like it, adding variation, which is what it's all about. Subtle variation, I think, is the key word of these collaboration tutorials. Nice. Try it a bit more. Okay. Try it on max. Usable, maybe. So yeah, I just think I'll leave it like that, freeze the track, and get on to the next part. Right, so the pad that Gürkan sent was just an audio loop, which I mean, I can modulate it, but I haven't really got much control, so I'm just going to layer the pad with my own pad, this Jupiter 8 style pad in Diva. Obviously I've got a lot more control over modulation. I didn't think his pad necessarily needed layering, but like I say, it's just something extra that can modulate. See, I'm just playing one finger chords there. I've got that chord device on. And again, MIDI control. See what the mod wheel and aftertouch do with this. Open up the filter. So both together, doing something interesting. So that's something I'll be working with in the arrange view. So I'll just freeze that for now. Put that in the bag for later. So I just went through the whole vocal sample and just cut out an extra bit, which you can hear now. And to me the where A was just too long. Listening back now it sounds alright, but at the time I didn't like it, so this is what I did. So it's like where A instead of where A. I just did that by adding a warp marker and moving the warp markers closer together. So giving it a bit more of a dirtier sound. Kind of fits a little bit more with the rhythm of the track. See how that sounds with the original vocal. See if they work together. Sure they will. Sitting alright together. I'll just try one other thing with that new vocal snippet that I've got there. I'm just going to copy it over onto the track next to it and move the start point of the loop on the second channel. See what they sound like together. Yeah, that's working. See how that goes back together with the original vocal. Yeah, so happy with that. On to the next bit. So I'm going to work out a little lead line. So I've got this Talino LX. And I've switched up the buffer size on my sound card just to stop all the jumping, but it just means it's latency between me hitting the keyboard keys and sound coming out, which is a bit off-putting. But I thought I'd try it, see if I get anything interesting rhythmically. So most of it sounds out, but there's a few little interesting timing things there that I might keep in. But I decided I wasn't feeling that patch, so I've just loaded up the Zebralette I've did a tutorial on this before. It's a freebie off the Yuhi website, so go ahead and get it. And I'm all about that wave warp dial. Again, adding subtle variation. So I'm just going to record that in using the mouse to automate it. Just hit the record button and automate away. See, that's recorded in there. And there's the visual representation of what I've just recorded in. I've also used the tal chorus, which is again free. Google it, get it if you don't already have it. So, drum fill time. So, just use the search function enabled in there. See what we have. These are all clips that come with Live Suite, I think. Maybe some of my own in there. So there's some toms in that little drum loop there. So I'm just going to drag the clip into my session view, and as you can see I've got a MIDI clip, and there's the toms, and that's the only bit I want. So the handy thing about having this in MIDI, just highlight the notes, press 0 to mute them. Could have just deleted them, of course. There you go, I've got a real nice little simple tom fill. I'm sure I could have programmed that in myself, but it's a lot quicker doing it this way. And it's just one other technique you can add to your arsenal if you've not went about things this way before. So now I've got my toms. Need to own them, need to put my own stamp on them. It's just no good just getting what you're given and using it like that, because anybody can do that. So, my audio effects racks, I downloaded these racks from Minimal System Studio Tools, again free off their website. These are racks that they've built just using old native Ableton plugins, some of them more useful than others. This one's called Modulate. I could open it up and see what's in there, but not really interested in it. I just bothered about what it sounds like. And let's add in a little flutter to the toms there. I need to take out the real low end, but I don't want to cut too much out, or else I'm going to lose the character of the toms. For some reason the clip didn't automatically play there. Anybody knows why that's happening, let us know. Sometimes it plays, sometimes it doesn't. The fill clip, that is. A bit annoying, no idea why. Answers below, if you know. Alright, so what else can we do? Again, it's not playing. Why? Why clip? Why are you not playing? got high tom, pan that to the right, mid tom, a little bit less to the right, low tom to the left. So it's kind of the way, if you think of a drum kit, the way the toms are set up. And it's also kind of moving them out of the way of the kick drum and the bass a little bit. Okay, so usually after you've had a tom fill you get a crash cymbal crash. So I'm going to try and emulate that. So again, in my clip view, using the search function, I've just typed in hit to see what we get. Didn't want to just go for straight up crash. You know, I just thought I'd try something a bit different. Yeah, so a lo-fi drum loop there. Hidden racing, that's kind of interesting as well. No idea what that is, but maybe something I can use there. Alright, so I'm going to go with that hit and raise and that lo-fi drum loop, see what we can get. So I'm going to put these inside my drum group next to the fill and just drag the clips across again. So that's some kind of sampler patch. That drum loop's just a straight up audio loop. So let's work with that first. So highlight my clip modulation and just lower the volume of everything other than the first hit. Sounded kind of nice as it is, but I'm not just going to leave it like that, obviously. So I want that tom fill and this little drum snippet I've just used, I want them to sound like one thing. So that's the aim of the game for the next couple of minutes. So first, I'm going to filter the kick out of that drum hit. I don't need it. I'll just solo up the tom fill and this drum hit. Get there in the end. play about with different cutoff frequencies. Too much of the kicks coming through, the less harsh filter there. Go back to the more extreme cutoff. Alright, let's try a chorus on, see what happens. Kinda interesting. Bit of delay on that, filter delay. Let's play about with this and get something that sounds kind of alright. Sounded kind of good. And felt like I wanted to shift the frequency of the delay, so as the delay hits, the frequency reduces. Hear that? I'm going to draw that in. Just play about with it till it sounds good. Hear what that's doing. That's a bit too fast. Alright. So let's have a look at this hit and raise thing. Crazy. A lot going on there. I only want the first hit though. Maybe I'll use some of the other bits later on. This is one of the things about, we've all paid all this money for Live 9 Suite, and you're getting all these samples, all these loops, and most of them never even touch them. So it's good every once in a while just to delve in and see what you paid for. You get little gems like this. Type in anything, just random things into the old search bar. Might surprise surprise yourself. Like I say, you paid for it, you got the license for it, use it. Right, so let's see what we've got so far. Again, that drum fill is not playing. Why? Working. So stabs, lead line, right, so you can see it's all come together nicely. I've got a few little things I can mess about with now when I get to the arrange, and that's what the next video is going to be, looking at how to arrange this. So once again, I've been C. Lopez. This is Tutorialism. You guys are awesome for watching, even more awesome for subscribing, like, comment, all that kind of business. Alright, for now, peace.